Hi friends! Welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to give you some tips and tricks for the job interview here in Canada. So far, these are based on my experiences. I have also asked some of my friends to share their experiences of job interviews here. Hopefully, you can get some tips from here that could be useful for your own journey. On this video, I will not focus on the hard skills because the hard skill is your own technical know-how about the job, and it's not something that I can teach you about. It's unique to your own experience and educational background. Soft skills, on the other hand, is things like your ability to communicate clearly, your critical thinking skills, your preparedness to answer the question that could be possibly asked during the interview. So these are the things that we will give you tips about. Just a disclaimer, I am not an expert in job interviews. What the tips that I will be sharing with you is based purely on my personal experiences as well as my friends, and these are not fail proof, and it will not guarantee your success to land in a job. So basically, we just want to help you with the basics. I have my list with me, and yes, let's start. The first tip is dressing appropriately for the interview. You have to look the part of the type of job, the type of company that you are applying for. It is always better to dress overdressed than to be underdressed. And dressing appropriately is important because first impressions last. And if you go to that interview looking very poorly, the employer might think that you are not really interested with the job. Now, I recommend that few days before the interview, you have a dress rehearsal so that you will know exactly how you want to project yourself during the interview. And for the ladies, I would recommend that you invest in a good quality jacket or coat because it will give you the flexibility to look more formal. You have to put the jacket on. To look more casual, you just have to remove the jacket. You can always reserve it and bring it with you during the interview. For men, I'm not really familiar with men's attire, but a good quality tie and a long sleeve will do. Just have to remove the tie when you want to look more casual and put it on if you want to look more business formal. For other jobs, for example, you are applying for a part-time job in a fast food restaurant. There's no really dress code for that, but at least you have to wear something more casual to the interview. The second tip is how you address the interviewer. In Canada, they go by first name basis. Normally in the Philippines, we call the higher ups sir or ma'am, but in here, you should not do that unless otherwise the interviewer will specify that you call them that by that. Next tip is you have to know the history, the background, the products and services of the company that you are applying for. Out of my 4 interviews, all 3 of them asked me that question. What do you know about our company? And they asked me, what do we do? What are our products? What do we offer? What are our services? So in advance, you have to research that. And most of the companies, they have websites where you can get those informations. Otherwise, if they do not have websites, you can conduct a personal interview to the staffs that are working there. You visit the location and basically ask the people around about the company, and hopefully they can provide you that information. Next tip is to listen carefully to the questions being asked during the interview. Answer it briefly and do not overshare or do not overtalk unless the interviewer will ask you to explain further or to elaborate your answers. The next tip is I myself is guilty of doing. Sometimes when we are too nervous or we are too excited about something, we tend to speak very fast, and that will give the interviewer a hard time to understand what we are saying. So remember to speak at a slow rate, project your voice, and talk clearly. Now comes to the most exciting part of the tip, the most common interview questions that are being asked. Some of these questions I have encountered personally, and some of it were encountered by my friends. So these questions like, what are your long-term goals? This is very common. Four out of my four interviews conducted here in Canada, it was asked to me by the employer, and I don't really have a specific best answer for this, but um, you have to show in your answer that the company that you are applying for is part of your long term goal. For example, you can say that I see myself 5 years from now working for this company with a higher position and being able to apply my skills and learnings to your company or something like that. Next question is, what are the challenges that you faced in the past and how did you overcome it? So, in advance, you have to prepare yourself, prepare your answers for this type of questions so that you be ready in case they will ask you this. Another common question that might be asked is, how was your relationship with your past employer? Or have you ever encountered any conflict with your past employer? What happened and what did you do? What was your reaction? So you have to remember to never talk badly about your past employer or never trash talk them because it will reflect negatively on you and not on your ex-boss or ex-employer. These are the other common questions that are asked during the interview. Why do you want to work here? What can you contribute to the company? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Remember, when they ask you about your weakness, do not focus alone on the weakness, but mention to them how are you able to overcome that weakness. What are the steps you did to improve that weakness? And also a question like, why should we hire you? So basically, these are the questions that you can showcase yourself, that you can promote yourself to them. You can sell yourself to the interviewer. More common questions such as, what are your achievements in your previous job? How long will you stay with us? And basically, they will ask you more scenario questions. Like on my recent interview just 2 days ago, they have asked me certain scenarios and what are my possible actions or reactions to those situations. So it's mostly unique to your background, unique to your experience, and they just want to see your traits or your attitudes or how you handle a certain conflict, and they just want to assess your emotional, your mental response to these things. The flexibility and availability for the job is one of the most important requirements that the employers are looking for, because even though if you are highly skilled but then your schedule does not fit their requirement, then it's unlikely that you will get the job. um, this is the very thing that has failed me in my past interviews, because I have given only the employers a specific timing, a specific day that I can work, and later I realized that I was so inflexible with my schedule. That's why I failed all those interviews. Another skills that you need to develop is your ability to communicate properly, your ability to convey the message clearly to the interviewer, because from there they will assess you and how you work with team members. Yes, if the message is not conveyed successfully, then your work will likely to have more conflict or failures. Additional tips: be careful with your credit score because some companies will conduct credit score check. Be careful of missing the payments for your phone bills, for your credit card bills, because it will affect your credit score and might reduce your chances of landing to that job if you have a very bad credit score. Depends on the industry that you're applying in, but especially if you are trying to apply for a job in a financial services industry, so you have to take care of your credit scores. So thank you for watching, and please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. Bye bye.